Hello everyone, this is Nick TF89 here with a little behind the scenes video. I want to do more behind the scenes content and I thought, why not start with this? I apologize if I sound kind of tired right now. I'm filming this right after working 8.5 hours on an essay with only 2 to 3 little breaks, so I'm not at 100% right now. But regardless, I'm going to talk about Knapford. Basically, when I build these big sets like this, I just kind of take my camera and I do a little walkthrough video. I just go back and forth a couple times, showing off the track layout, all the buildings, some details, and I put it away in a folder on my computer for reference for when I have to rebuild these sets. I don't always have to, depending on, scenes and stuff, or where, the characters go, etc. I like to think of my series as an adventure series, and I don't want to anchor my cast down to one location. At least the main characters. With the exception of the portal room, I don't want there to be like a hub area, kinda. I want them to always be going to new places, and seeing new faces, etc. There are, recurring places, but I don't want one to just be, like, constantly there. So Knapford in Thomas is a big location, it appears a lot. But in my series, it's only going to be in, a couple times here and there in some of the seasons. I'm filming every Knapford scene at the moment, except for some Season 6 stuff, which Knapford might look a little different for some reason at that point, so I'm not going to film that right now. But I'm just going to give you a little tour of the set and talk about some stuff behind the scenes and just kind of give it a little rundown, This is a public video, so public set tour. So maybe you can get some inspiration from this, and I can always look back on it for when I got to redo Knapford, so let's get into it. I'm gonna start over on this side, because why not? You'll notice the set just kind of ends over there. So this is the track that leads to the main line and Thomas's branch line from the main station over there. So those lines come here and that converges at the switch where we have a little signal and it goes into the main station. Over on this side there's more tracks. I believe those go to Knapford Harbor. I'm not sure. This is based off the TV series, and I haven't looked at the map all the time. Well, I haven't looked at the map that much when building this. I think they go to the harbor, but who knows if we can trust the map now. So we just have some pine trees over here and Muffle Mountain, which I use all the time for representing just a hill. These pine trees are part of a little Christmas set that I got at a flea market in 2018, and I just spray painted them green, and they're nice. Down here we have this Ertl truck custom that I did. This is just like a tender chassis with some clay on top, and we focus on that. There we go. And this is just like the top part of an Ertl truck. And if we can just clip that on there, it does fit perfectly. But I'm not gonna fiddle with it now. He's just hanging out because I didn't feel like putting him away. Over here we have a carriage shed. This isn't there in the show, I don't think. I just kind of did my own thing for parts of this set. This was made for my Thomas and Bertie remake, but I didn't finish it. I only did one side, which was the other side. So, that was all painted. This side was not. I repainted it, and I cut out the windows and made actual, like, see-through windows. So you can see through these. It's just a layer of clear plastic taped in there, and then the window frames are done with a paint marker. On the top, these skylights, I didn't want to do windows again, so I just made some pretty basic decals and glued them on there, and it gets the job done. We have some express coaches in the shed, normal Thomas ones, and then my custom green ones. Breakdown train, just sitting there. This is after I filmed some scenes, so this set's empty at the moment. Bunch of switches going over to the main station. We'll get to that later. Hugo, because Hugo's homeboys represent. There's my custom signal box, some random signal piece, soft side lorry, some cargo, a bike, and the Fat Man's car. That's supposed to be like a special private parking space for Top Hat. And the bike over there is just Mr. Percival's bike. He is treated unfairly. His bike is cast off by the wall in the grass while the Fat Controller gets his pristine parking place, but that's not important. Switches, signal, another track that just goes off to nowhere. Gonna go over to the other side, right around my lamp, which is just on these two barrels. Massive fire hazard, but I somehow deal with it. Down here we have what's supposed to be the little yard next to Knapford. Very, very condensed because, edge of the table. So we just have like some details like a fence, this yellow thing, I don't know what it even is. It's just a little detail I have. It's like a toolbox or something, I don't know. And we have an Ertl crane. I got this earlier this year for about $8, which was a steal on eBay. Sorry, Ryan. And then we just have a station building next to Knapford. I wanted to build the proper station building. There's like a brown and black like side building that just kind of arches down here, but I didn't really see the need for it. I just placed this there and it works out fine. Crate, a little fuel tank, and then this thing. This is another fuel tank, not Lego. This is a custom piece. I got this at a train show with Silver Band and Turtles and Thomas earlier this year. So it's this custom piece made from like plastic and metal bits. This guy just made a bunch of like handmade props, and it's like I don't know, like a gas tank or fuel or something like that, whatever the scene needs it to be. But it's really nice. Same show I got this, HO scale, coal hopper, because HO scale is not too far off from Wooden Railway. It's just, a little different size-wise. Again, the track just ends. There's my fishing wire that I use to pull the trains. And then over here is Knapford itself. So 6 lanes of track. Over here we have the middle lanes that terminate at the bookstall or just Sodor Junction. I'm going to actually just go over there right now, take down the sky real quick. So over here we have more Knapford, but first we have this pile. A lot of these are minifigures that were on the set in the scenes I was filming. I just threw them over here. But some of them I built specifically for a upcoming little side story video I want to hopefully get out this month. These two right here are important characters, but the rest are just mostly nobodies. Officer Cody is here with new hair because I lost his old piece. Stephen Hatt. Then we have some cameos like Phil Ardman. I got his face print this year and I made his figure. And then we also have me. It's very hard to focus with just one-handed. But we have me, the Cedric Legend, Ryatron 12, and Topaz Productions, or Dakota. Just some of my friends. I want to make more figures of my friends and some other people and just put them in the background. But I don't know when I'll do that. Then at Knapford, we just have a platform here with this one woman, 2 benches, a little bag, and the station master. So, just like in the TV series, we have 6 lanes of track, and I made a change to make it more accurate, in my opinion, or just, more functional. I added this cardboard platform. So I just cut a couple pieces right here for the ramp and glued another on top with some glue and then taped it and painted it up. This is so people can actually stand at the station. Earlier, I had an 8-lane Knapford before I had the proper station. And it looked okay, but I wanted to be more accurate. So I made like a custom platform for people to stand. And it works out pretty well. Over here, we have part of the town for Knapford. This is just like a retaining wall. Over here, we have the parking lot for the station. We have a fire truck, the scrap lorry, and then some buses. We had a Bulgy, an Ertl Bulgy, old style birdie, and a take-along birdie. And that's just supposed to be part of the town here. Next to Knapford is a church with a big clock tower. And to represent that, I have this church piece here. This is, again, another part of the Christmas pack I was talking about at a flea market. I've had this for 3 years, but I didn't paint it until this year in the spring. So I painted it up to look like the Knapford church. The steeple cone thing is gray to look like it in the show. And the windows are kind of peeling in places because I had to remove these for painting and tape them back in. But it's painted up to look like how it is in the show. and it just sits there in the background. Just, you know, make it a little more accurate. It just sits on a cardboard box with some shrubbery on there. Shrubbery to make it add to the illusion that you're not looking at a box. We go back around. There's another little detail I'm kind of proud of. If you look in the show, there's an Knapford parking lot, and this is the road. So if the sky's not there, if this was bigger, there'd be the town of Knapford in the back, kind of represented by these buildings here. But there's the town of Knapford, and this road goes up a little hill onto one of the main streets. And along the road there are these like cobblestone walls and doors at parts of the walls. I haven't looked at the photos in a while, but I think those doors are either entrances to people's backyards or just like their back doors to people's houses that live near the station. So I added this Lego door in the back, right down by the church, just like at the box there, supposed to represent like someone could walk into that building and then get up onto the church somehow. Just a little nod I threw in there. And then for the Knapford town itself, I didn't know if I wanted to just use like flat buildings, semi-flats, or just 3D, and I went with 3D. So it's pretty simple. We just have this cardboard building, and then the Lego corner deli, a piece of the pet shop, and then this big shipping building. The retaining wall for Knapford is just this little thin plank of wood. If you've seen my videos, you've seen this 1,000 times. I use it all the time. I have 3 of these pieces, just leftovers from the set table itself, and I hang on to them to use them as set dressing. Behind this building, which I want to redo at some point, there's a box for a Brio helicopter, which is just using to make the building higher. And that's kind of it for the set. One last thing I want to show off is my sky backdrop. So it's been all over the place in terms of quality for my sky. Right now I have these poster boards that just have the wallpaper on them, and they get the job done. This one's leaning, but when I actually film it, it's taped up. But they're kind of falling apart in some areas. So I built this new one, this new stand. Don't do this. Like, don't be like me. Please get a proper, like, way to hang it up. Don't try to build this. It's gonna turn out. It's just a lot of hassle. But what I did was I took these bigger poster boards and I glued these wooden pieces to them with wood glue. These, not wood, they're like a really thick cardboard. But I glued them as well as some masking tape, and with some wood glue you can see it like splatter in places. But I made like this big frame out of a couple pieces of poster board. It's bigger, longer, and taller than my other sky pieces. You can see there's one I have now, and this is the new one. So this allows me to build more, allows me to build bigger sets, also sets with more verticality, because, you know, if I do a shot like this, I can't really pan up that much with the old backdrop, because, you know, there's the edge. But with this, I can go up a little higher. So I think that's kind of cool. It could have been better. As you can see, there's some tears here and there. Then I ran out of wallpaper. But, like, at the top right there, you're never going to see that in a proper video. So, it's you know, it's probably my best sky that I have at the moment. And, you know, it took like a week to make, but it is working out nicely. I don't even have to tape it sometimes. Because with those frame pieces, the cardboard, the L shape, it holds itself. So, pretty nice. But, aside from that, that kind of concludes this little behind-the-scenes tour of Knapford. I'd like to do more of these when I have, you know, time and I'm not exhausted. But I said what I wanted to say in this. I got some details out there and just got this look at Knapford. So I'm going to, one more time, just kind of pan back and forth. The station, the yard, and everything. And, yeah. That's Knapford Station. So, thank you for watching this little behind-the-scenes video. And I will hope to see you soon.